I want to help you identify your critical data. We're going to talk about some things about that and how to do it. Now, because the environments that everybody runs are so diverse, I'm not going to get into the which box to click, which thing to click on, which solutions to use. We're not going to cover that today. But I'm going to give you the strategy to walk away from here to begin to either engage yourself or with your IT provider or your IT partners to start to address this in an intelligent way so that you know what's going on and also they know what your needs are. And that's going to be really important. We're going to talk about controlling access to your data. Who and why are they using it and where it is. This is going to be very important. That's that next piece. And then after that, we're going to talk about good behaviors to establish within your organization and how to create a culture of security to go forward so that you and your employees feel a little bit more comfortable in how you operate. We're going to learn how to be accountable digitally. It's more than digital, of course. Security is going to be everybody's responsibility through your organization when we walk away here, but we're going to talk about some of the tools and things that are available to you for no cost about how to be accountable to yourself. And then we're going to talk again about if you need to engage in third-party providers. We know a lot of small businesses end up quote-unquote contracting out their IT support. We're going to talk about how to engage in these productive conversations with third-party providers so you know your needs are being met and you can shop effectively when it comes to picking a partner. So let's talk about identifying your data. We're going to talk about categorizing your data by criticality, and we'll talk about what that means. We're going to talk about how you begin to locate and think like your data. What I don't want you to do is think like a business owner here. What I want you to do is I want you to change your perspective and follow your data through it as it moves through your business and your business process. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. And then we're going to talk about how you begin to evaluate the risk, what data presents the most risk to you and your customers, and how you begin to evaluate how exposed that data is. So the first piece is obviously the most important. We want to address this data always first, and that's high sensitivity. This is data that your business is going to depend on to operate. This can be things like account numbers, financial information, customer lists, pricing lists, things that give you a competitive advantage, intellectual property, things that you develop or ways that you do things that other companies don't do. This is the stuff that these bad actors want the most. This is the stuff where if they know what you're charging, if they're representative of a Chinese company or they sell to a Chinese company, they're going to undercut you. They're going to try and find a way to do your process or make your widget or provide your service for less and undercut you in today's global market. And they're very aggressive about this stuff. If this stuff is obstructed or unavailable, your business operations are either going to be very severely impacted or not be able to run. So this is the stuff we want to protect first. Next are the medium sensitivity. These are things that aren't typically super critical and you tend to pass around and use, but they provide insight into how you operate. They give you ideas, or they could give someone from the outside looking in who's trying to run an analysis on you of how do they talk, what is their flow, what does their process begin to look like, what's it feel like? You know, what are they beginning to use? I might not be able to see that price sheet that I really want to get a hold of, but I know they reference it here, 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 and here. So these are the things that are probably that next tier. And then the low sensitivity data is data that you don't mind or you intend to make public at some point. And this is the stuff we don't really put a huge priority on protecting. So already in your heads, I'm guessing many of you are thinking already, what's so important? What do I absolutely need to protect? What is this? How do I go about doing this? Well, the next step is then finding your data, okay? And this is one of the things when I do assessments and audits on companies, and I've done so many in Wisconsin in the last few years, most business owners don't understand where their data is or how much of it is out there. If I asked you right now where your pricing sheets are, you would know generally where they should be, but do you know where they are? Do you know how many duplicates have been made? Do you know how many employees have saved them onto local drives? Do you know how many people have edited them or changed them? Do you know who's managing that process? Do you know how that process is looked at? So we're going to start to think, when we think about this, is how often do you look at the scope of your data and say everything's where it should be, and only the people that are using it, and only the official copies that I know are right are out there? And the answer is, for most people, especially as business operations grow and get busy, the answer is, I don't know. I don't know.